everybody. Oh my gosh, I think I look kind of dark. Why is that light just gone out? I just had a light go out. That's why I look dark. It's mad at me. There you go. Come on, stay on. There we go. Hey. How is everybody today? Cheers. I know Angie's had a trying day. Donna, your live this morning was so fun to watch. Oh my gosh, that was, and it was, oops, light just went out again. Well, we'll deal. Obviously, it needs to be charged or something. Oh well. Physical torture went well. Yes, I got up to 110 degrees. Yes, which is great. And of course, right now I have an ice pack on my knee wrapped around and cinched on there. It's so good to see you guys. Let's see who's all here. I finished it yesterday. Oh, Donna's here, Angie, Gloria. It's so good to have you guys here. Started my day out this morning with Donna and yikes, 110. Yeah, I'm supposed to get to 120 degrees to really be at full bend, and which is kind of important because with what I do with photography, I have to be able to get full bend because I'm out in odd places and wilderness and climbing, and if you can't bend, get down and up, it's tricky enough. So, and I'm oftentimes kneeling on a knee, and since they're both going to be robot knees, I have to be able to knee on either one of them. So that's the way it goes. But welcome. So I have to tell you, pat myself on the back. I mean, we have lots of exciting things tonight. Lots of exciting things. Yeah, just poof. I'm not very one that's very good about spreading things out. I get too excited about them and I have to dump them all at one time, but I'll try to be good. Let's see. First exciting thing. Oh, okay. So part of this whole journey of doing this is learning eCam to do the live things. And I'm still working on the interview thing so I can bring you guys on and we can work together on that. Not quite there. I haven't quite figured that out. But I got inspired today when I saw Donna's overlays that she'd had with hers. And I don't know what you're using to go live with, Donna, but it looked really good. And then that sparkle little thing you did in between, that transition was just, oh, I loved it. So I kind of knew I could do it in some way with eCam, and I knew I could do it some way with Canva and type of thing. And so I watched found a video of somebody who had done it and kind of got the concept down. So let's see. In the scenes today, I have to look over here. The opening scene had a little video that I did things and put a book border on. Then the countdown timer, which I built a long time ago, which I can't give up, even though I don't need it. It's only 9 seconds, but I'm so proud of myself for building it. I'm so sad. And then this one, I changed the border color around here so that it was around me. And I just have to always keep remembering to look at my camera rather than at my screen. And so Donna, that's the thing that you were saying. How do I remember to do that? I'm pretty used to looking at, because as a photographer, I have the camera right there, but for some reason the tilt screen's not showing me, so I can't really tell what I'm seeing. So I just have to trust it. And that's not too hard for me to do because of film days as a film photographer for many, many, many years. And so not knowing what's going to be coming out of your camera until you get back and develop the film and take a look at it later. You just kind of have to get used to that trust thing. So I'm hoping that this all looks all right and that I don't sound so, the audio is still something I'm not too sure on, but then I saw this thing with the overlays, and so there is a new scene in which I'm going to tell in a minute to show something special. And then from last night, and then I did a new outside part of it, and then to screen share. I think I did a new overlay to screen share. I kind of tried something fancy. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. And if it's cool, I can easily go on and take you guys through my steps of what I did. But first off, we finally stopped at the post office up the road because I have our home has an address here where we are, but we also have a P.O. box. We don't stop there very often because we don't. I mean, I live way out in the country, and we don't. Most stuff comes to the house unless it's the stuff that I'm going to show today. Because I stopped because I said, you know what? Angie's sent me some things, and I need to go see if it's at the post office. And so let me go here to this scene, and here's one. I'm opening it. This is something that Angie sent me. This, I think, oh, crackle noise. Is it as loud for you guys as it is for me? I think this is the piece that she did. Inspired by something. Angie, you have to write in the comments what this was. Hanging in there. Mike isn't feeling so well. Oh, you know what? It's going to be good. It's going to be good. You and Mike are going to be fine. And even if it does come back positive, the fact that you've had the shots and the booster is going to be so far less. It just means that you'll have to quarantine for a while because it makes you communicable. And that's the issue right now, is that it's that. Yeah, it's a tricky thing. Oh, look at it's the yes. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, for you, my friend Angie Mason. Oh, this is the one that was from the starfish, wasn't it? Yes, the sunstar. Yes. Oh, look at how gorgeous that is. So cool. Thank you, Angie. Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, good. Donna, I will have to message you and work on that, how to add someone in. Yeah. You know what? I've heard other people tell them that you can't, supposedly couldn't kneel on fake knees, but I mean, mine are titanium. You can kneel on them. I mean, seriously. Yeah, they're the one. I kneel on the one all the time, and it's far easier to kneel on that than the one that they had chunks floating around in it. Oh my goodness. Now that's complete. It's so funny because that's just the opposite of what I've been told with these new, and I can run if I want to. I can kneel on them. They're put in differently. I don't know, but yeah, it's yeah, I haven't had any problem with kneeling on them at all. Yeah, they're solid as a rock. Yeah. So my orthopedic surgeon said that, and my physical therapist said it was fine to do that. I don't like to run that much anyway. I can hop, skip, and jump maybe, but no, I'm not like my crazy son-in-law that runs 240-mile races, or my daughter who likes to run 50Ks or longer ones too all the time, or my other daughter who now is training for an ultramarathon. Really? That's what she wanted for Christmas, was training shoes. Oh my gosh. Presents, yes. Boosters. Ah. Look at this. I know, isn't it stunning? is actually, that's the one I made for you in your favorite colors. I thought so. This is so cool. I love it. Okay, so that's that one. Then underneath there, I have another one. Here is another box. This is from her auction. And, okay. So I put an ice pack on my knee and I get cold, and then I wonder why I'm sitting here roasting because I have the heater going straight toward me. Turn it off. All right, here's more. Angie, you should really try pirateship.com for shipping, because seriously, girl, I owe you for some shipping because that was too much for you to send to me. Oh my gosh. This is going to go in the grandkids' room. Layla's going to go bonkers. She's going to just love that in there. I think it's so pretty. Oh, that's so nice. I love it. And here's the other one. Oh. Okay, can I groan anymore? And look at that. Isn't that so nice? Oh, yes. Yes. Love that. Look at this. Oh, the emeralds in here. Oh my goodness. And the purple and the gold. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. I love this. These, oh, yeah. Your knee had chunks too? Oh yeah, mine had. And this last one he did, he said he found a marble in it, and I said, a marble? No, like I said, it's one thing you found a sliver, because they found a sliver in my knee that he wanted to know when I had gotten a piece of wood embedded in my knee that was like 3/4 of an inch, big old round thing. He found it in there, been all wrapped up in scar tissue and like it's still there, probably from when I was a kid. But the marble was actually a piece of bone that had chunk that had broken off and had been rubbed raw to be like a smooth marble. Yeah, that wasn't fun. No wonder the knee hurt. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so excited. Yes. All right. So, we got things to show about Angie tonight. So, mine was done in late 2018. This one, that, yeah, they've never told me I couldn't kneel on it. Of course, I mean, Dave would know better than to tell me that I couldn't kneel on something, because that's what I know I need to do, because I'm always crawling around on, yeah, oh well. Anyway, last night, back to this. Last night, we did the drawing on the right side of the brain. And we did, I had, me and my bears, my first bear that I saw in Alaska, kind of wanted to do that, but I knew that that would be kind of hard. So I found the line drawing, and from doing the line drawing upside down, where I had it like this, I ended up with this. Okay, so I was pretty pleased, and you guys all could follow along and tried it. I know that was it Janice Pittman sent me a message and said that she and her husband watched it afterwards, and they're going to try it together. He was really interested in trying it, and Angie tried it. She had a picture with some glasses. And let me see. Now, this is one of the ones I built a special frame for the scene. Let's see if it works. Look at that. Whoa. Look at that. Let's see if I can get this to... Oh, not me. Here, let's unlock the scene. If I unlock it there, And then I go to the, nope, it won't do that. Okay. So look at how, oops, got bigger. There we go. This is what she did. So her original was, oh, I'm not very good with math. This was the original that she had, and she wanted to do it. And she told me that what you say in your email, that if you tried to just draw it straight, they would look like trees. So I sent her a picture of trees in my backyard. These don't look anything like trees. And no, so she did this with the upside down method. It's just like before. And look at that. I think it's so cool. And I think you were going to watercolor it. Didn't you say you were? Oh, that's right. You did that one the night I had my knee surgery to cheer me up, and I went live that night. Oh my gosh. I'm afraid to go back and watch that one because I think I was pretty high. Oh well. Oh well. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. And she added, compared to the difference. Oops. Here we go. Okay, Gretchen. Why can't I do this? There we go. So here, the original had some of this kind of shading, and she added her own. I think that's what's cool about this, is that you can add your own little aspect to it and change how you do it. So hers turned out really well. I love this. And I think when you watercolor it or paint it or whatever you decide to do, or even leave it as a sketch, it's gorgeous. It's a fun thing to do. Really, really fun. So, yeah. Isn't that, Angie? That's beautiful. Let's see. Woohoo. Just some trivial information for everyone. Yes, we have trivial information for everybody. I know. What's some trivia information? Who do you know that had a sliver in her knee? A 3/4 inch sliver embedded in her knee for years. What? Isn't that a cool frame? Oh, what happened here? I'm supposed to have a picture of me in here. Oh, well. I don't know what happened. I almost have it right. See that little picture? That right there is supposed to have a picture of me. But it doesn't. Send it back. Oh, whoops. I'll undo that. Because somewhere... Huh. I don't know. This is image overlay. There. There it is. Phew, I just had it in the wrong layer. See, you have to put things in the right order on this. I'm learning from Ecamm, and there's layers, and it's probably why I never do Photoshop, because they all talk about layers, and it drives me a little nuts. And why fluid art is I like to do it, but it's having to plan out the layers when I'm just kind of like, oh, a flighty person. Yeah. Oh, well. I think, and let's give Angie a round of applause for this wonderful, wonderful piece that she did. And for just, now if I tried to draw that, it would look like trees, your tree. Isn't this cool to be able to do this, to turn something upside down, and to all these different things that you could do. We talked about this before, some of the different ideas that you could do. Like I had, the picture of the coyote I wanted to do. Maybe the picture of the bear. I might do that one with the negative space bit. I started to do Rory and then Aldo. And just other things that I might want to try to turn into illustrations rather than into just photographs. Like this was the one with Rory we were talking about, where I was just working on the negative space on the outside. And that's just, I think that's a good um, a good practice in just training your eye, and just that whole practice of that other part and looking at shapes, getting that out of your, yeah, the coyote. Or no, that's not a coyote, that's the red fox. That was just after it had jumped up and dove into the snow to catch a little varmint at Yellowstone. Yes. So today, let's go back up here. So tonight, I wanted to just celebrate the beautiful artwork that Angie has done and the gift of those paintings and then her work she does, and all of you guys who come. I wanted to celebrate that. But I also wanted to share a story. And the story I'm going to share tonight is, and I said, who is Scrubious? And the book is a nonsense poem, basically, a nonsensical poem written by Edward Lear. And if you know anything about who Edward Lear is, I will see if I can pull up his, is it this one? Yes, let me see if I can get this to show what I want it to show. Okay, there. Yay. So Edward Lear, he lived from, what was it? He was child number 20 of 21, but he was the youngest one to survive. Literally 21 kids in a family. Oh, makes me crazy. He was raised by his sister, who was 21 years older than him, and he didn't receive very much formal education. I mean, he lived from, let's see if I can, 1812 to 1888, and he was famous for the Book of Nonsense, mainly famous for limericks. And the Jumblies is one of my favorites that he's done. He did The Owl and the Pussycat. And, there's the famous line about the runcible spoon, and he made up that word. And one of the things is he often did is he made words up to fit in this thing that just, it made sense, even though it was total nonsense. He struggled with health all his life. He was alone most of the time, but he was also very good friends with Alfred Lord Tennyson, and he wrote music as well. He played the piano, and he was the only one Tennyson approved of to put some of his works to music. Tennyson's family thought of him as an uncle, and he was just, it was very well received that day. This was, let's see, he produced poems, drawings, alphabets, and menus for entertainment for the children of these people, and conversation and piano improvisation soon ingratiated him to the adults as well. In 1846, he gathered some of his limericks and did his first joke book. And it just went on from there. He, there was a young lady of Norway who casually sat in a doorway. When the doorway squeezed her flat, she exclaimed, "What of that, the courageous young lady of Norway?" It went on and on and on. The Jumblies, the Old Man of the South, some that became quite famous. In Wikipedia, it talks a little bit more about who he was and his early years and everything. You can look up some of the things that he did, and he was just, his Book of Nonsense is still, and as for limericks, he's just so well known. He reads, but he cannot speak Spanish. He cannot abide ginger beer, for the days of his pilgrimage vanish. How pleasant to know Mr. Lear. That's one that apparently he wrote toward the end of his life, and was kind of a reflection on his own thoughts and his own life. He was talked out of proposing to a woman who was quite a bit younger than him by the woman's sister. Later, it was determined that the woman probably would have said yes, but he never did. And he went on to just live a pretty lonely life, had struggled with depression, and they had a name for it. I can't remember what they called it. But the book I'm going to read tonight is called The Scrubius Pip. And a lot of what he did, his nonsense poems were the nonsense about him was in the wording and whatnot, but they also still had a lesson. And this was a book. Well, let me read you about. This was completed by Ogden Nash, and it's illustrated by Nancy Ekholm Burkhardt. I'll tell you a little bit about this. So the Scrubius Pip, like the stories of creation and Noah's Ark, stirs visions of all creatures in the world assembled. Cast among them, however, is the unique and mysterious Pip. The creator of the mysterious Pip was the English artist Edward Lear, famous for his nonsense books and increasingly well known for his other accomplishments. His exceptionally fine illustrations of natural history, the oils and thousands of watercolors he painted as topographical landscape painter, and the 7 travel books he wrote and illustrated. He was the first artist to draw and paint live birds and have a book published. There was some man in England wealthy Englishman who had a aviary, and Lear went there. And before that, people had only done illustrations based on dead animals. And he went there and did the live ones. He traveled constantly, spending time out of doors. He was a loyal friend of several leaders and creative artists of his day, Alfred Lord Tennyson, whose work influenced Lear throughout his life. He loved being around the kids of these people. He grew. How delightful it must have been to watch him as he drew, or to listen as he invented hilarious new words such as pumpdeliciously and grumbulian, and made fun of the world. He was a lonely bachelor, too often separated from those he loved, subject to recurring illnesses. He can see Edward Lear himself in many of his nonsense drawings and in his longer poems such as The Young Bongy Beau and The Dong with the Luminous Nose and My Aged Uncle Arlie and Calico Pie. We discover him again, but in spirit of peace and optimism, in the Scrubious Pip. So this is 100 years ago, but this book came out in 1968. In 1868, Edward Lear spent 2 months on the island of Corsica, where he made over 300 drawings in 2 months. 300 drawings in 2 months. Continued his usual vast correspondence and maintained his detailed journals. The manuscript for the Scrubious Pip, with his own small pen drawing of the pip on which I based my concept, this is written by the illustrator, is now to be found in Harvard University's Houghton Library in Cambridge, Massachusetts. The poem is written on the reverse of a page of notes from his Corsican tour and dated April 16, 1718. The verses were not completed, and they remained unpublished during his lifetime. I am grateful that Ogden Nash, declaring himself enormously pleased and flattered to be invited to fill in the empty squares of Mr. Lear's entrancing puzzle, agreed to complete the Scrubious Pip, adding his own skillful fun to that of his masters. Mr. Nash's additions are bracketed in the text, so when I turn the text, you'll see if there's a bracket, then that's where Nash added something. She says, during my research for this book, I was astounded once again by the incredible number and variety of forms in nature. Of the multitude I've been able to represent relatively few. We shall have to use our imaginations to complete the vision. For instance, nature offers not only one species of zebra, but several. She says, and what saddens one even is the extinct animals that one learns in the 100 years since the Scrubius Pip was written, and how many more are extinct since then. It would be in the spirit of Edward Lear to acknowledge and respect all unique forms of nature. We alone are able to assume responsibility for preserving them. It's this ideal of harmony between ourselves and nature, which I feel is present in the rhythmic verses of the Scrubius Pip, and which made me so want to illustrate them. Her illustrations are incredible in this. You're just going to love them. Hi, Julie. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I didn't see when you came in, so I don't know if you saw Angie's beautiful drawing that she did from last night. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, nope, not there. There. She did last night when we did upside down. She didn't even have to stand on her head to do it, but she drew it upside down. Yeah, that's from last night. You loved Photoshop. Donna, are you okay? Oh, I love Lightroom. Photoshop gives me hives sometimes. Oh my gosh. So this story, like I said, who needs formal education with 19 siblings? Yeah, really. I guess his parents died when he was quite young, and his sister, who was 21 years older than him, actually, by the time he was 4, she took, and they were on their own, and the two of them were at different places working and doing things. He started illustrating and doing things quite young. So let's see, rules, no rules. You make I make a call it blonde Latin. Oh my God. Scrubius Pip. I love it. I know this name of the book is just one of the things that makes it, as a somebody whose oral interpretation of literature is my major, that whole language is just such a beautiful thing. So it's very fun to do. So yeah, I didn't make Angie stand on her head. She was able to do it just, where's the book? There's the book. Okay. And she was able to do this. Now, the illustrations in this by Nancy Burkert, she wrote that in 1968. I've never found this book produced again by anybody else, and this copy that I have, seriously, when I took over the library at the school that I went for the classroom to the library that I took over had a very old, huge collection of like 25,000 books, which is huge for an elementary library. But probably 50% of the books were very old, outdated, and had been purchased used from another library beforehand. So I had a lot of weeding to do. And this was one of the books that had gone through that. And I kept it in the library for a long time. But then when we weeded it, I also I sold by state law, you have to make them available to buy, and so I bought it. So the Scrubius Pip. And I want, here, set that there. I'm going to try to make it so that you can see the pictures pretty well. I'm going to zoom and pan in on this just so you can see her detail. I'll show you what you're going to see. And then this little guy is the Scrubius Pip. Okay, and as I said, this was Edward Lear's nod, or in his own way, nonsense to a creation type story, Noah's Ark type story of things. And I think you'll get it when you see what it says, how he wrote it, what he said. The Scrubius Pip went out one day when the grass was green and the sky was gray. Then all the beasts in the world came round when the Scrubius Pip sat down on the ground. The cat and the dog and the kangaroo, the sheep and the cow and the guinea pig too. The wolf he howled and the horse he neighed. The little pig squeaked and the donkey brayed. And when the lion began to roar, there never was heard such a sound before. And every beast he stood on the tip of his toes to look at the Scrubius Pip. At last they said to the fox, "By far, you're the wisest beast, you know you are. Get close to the Scrubius Pip and say, 'Tell us all about yourself, we pray, for as yet we can't make out in the least if you're fish or insect or bird or beast.'" The Scrubius Pip looked vaguely round and sang these words with a rumbling sound. "Chippity flip, flippity chip, my only name is the Scrubius Pip." And these drawings are the ones from Edward Lear himself. The Scrubius Pip from the top of the tree saw the distant jelly bolee, and all the birds in the world came there, flying in crowds all through the air. The vulture, the eagle, the cock and the hen, the ostrich, the turkey, the snipe, and the wren. The parrot chattered, the blackbird sung, and the owl looked wise, but held his tongue. And when the peacock began to scream, the hullabaloo was quite extreme. And every bird he fluttered the tip of his wing as he stared at the Scrubius Pip. At last they said to the owl, "By far you're the wisest bird, you know you are. Fly close to the Scrubius Pip and say, 'Explain all about yourself, we pray. For as yet we have neither seen nor heard if you're fish or insect or beast or bird.'" The Scrubius Pip looked gaily round and sang these words with a chirpy sound. "Flippity chip, chippity flip, my only name is the Scrubius Pip." The Scrubius Pip went into the sea by the beautiful shore of the Jelly Bolee. All the fish in the world swam round with a splashing, squashy, spluttering sound. The sprat, the herring, the turbot too, the shark, the sole, and the mackerel blue. The flounder sputtered, the porpoise puffed, the tarpon tacked, and the sailfish luffed. And when the whale began to spout, they all gave a bubbly, glubbly shout. And every fish, he shook the tip of his tail as he gazed at the Scrubius Pip. At last they said to the whale, "By far, you're the biggest fish, you know you are. Swim close to the Scrubius Pip and say, 'Tell us all about yourself, we pray. For to know you yourself is our only wish. Are you beast or insect or bird or fish?'" The Scrubius Pip looked softly round and sung these words with a liquid sound. "Pliffity flip, my only name is Scrubius Pip." The Scrubius Pip sat under a tree by the silent shores of the Jelly Bolee. All the insects in all the world about the Scrubius Pip entwirled. Beetles and bookworms with purple eyes, gnats and lentil flies, grasshoppers, butterflies, spiders too, wasps and bees and dragonflies blue. And when the gnats began to hum, the welkin bounced like a dismal drum, and every insect curled the tip of his snout and looked at the Scrubius Pip. At last they said to the ant, "By far, you're the wisest insect, you know you are. Creep close to the Scrubius Pip and say, 'Tell us all about yourself, we pray. For we can't find out, and we can't tell why, if you're beast or fish or a bird or a fly.'" The Scrubius Pip turned quickly round and sang these words with a whistly sound. "Whistle-be-whip, whistle-be-whip, my only name is the Scrubius Pip." Then all the beasts that walk on the ground danced in a circle round and round, and all the birds that fly in the air flew round and round in a circle there, and all the fish in the jelly bolee swam in a circle about the sea, and all the insects that creep or go buzzed in a circle to and fro. They roared and sang and whistled and cried till the noise was heard from side to side. Chippity-tip, chippity-tip, its only name is the Scrubius Pip. Chippity-tip, chippity-tip, its only name is the Scrubius Pip. And that's the story, the Scrubius Pip. I think it's beautiful about the underlying story that the Scrubius Pip is something to everyone, to all creatures in its own different way. That's why it's that relationship to the story of creation, of creator, of whoever, how, all interpreted in their own way. And that's what Lear had to say. This is this picture right here. If I can focus in, this is the image that he had, I believe, on that paper. They said his own little drawings. Yes, it's a wonder. I mean, it is one. Julie said, I need to get this to read to my brands. It's not an easy book necessarily to find. You might find it at a used bookstore, probably. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't check Amazon. But if you can find it, my 3-year-old grandson, it's one of his favorites to have me read. And I read it to the kids all the time. And I at school, I read it to the kindergartners, loved it. And then each class got it each year. And it became one of those books that as the kids got older, they would know. And sometimes some of the 5th graders would come in at recess and read it to it was one of the ones that was one that they enjoyed because the repetition of it all, and they could predict, and the pictures. And if you get into the pictures, first off, Edward Lear's drawings are just amazing. These little line sketches. And then what she did to take his, and to look at it, and all the animals, and we would use it, when the kids were studying, like the mammals and the insects and the fish and the birds, and you could see how the Scrubius Pip changed to fit, and the different kind of illustrations that she had, and the details. It's just such a beautifully illustrated. And like, look at this owl down here. Remember the owl that doesn't say much? And the owl looked wise but held his tongue. Right there. The kids would look through, and then in each page, there's this little boy and girl someplace listening. Yep, there they are. Up there. There, I can show them. And hear how the Scrubius Pip changes to be a sea animal to fit. It's just so cool. Where's the kids in this one? Oh, there they are. They're way over here on this page, right there. I love the buttons. Like he has these on his waistcoat. Even to the details of the buttons on the waistcoat that he wears. And the little ladybird beetles. And a spider. A piter, as my niece would say. A piter, or my granddaughter. A piter. A piter, Grandma Goo. There's a piter. Oh, look at that. And all of the animals. And then the birds flying. The kids dancing. The mountains. And then up here, you see, there's a moose, a bison, a mountain sheep, a horse, and a bear, and another. And it's just the otters. That's I just love it. I could look at it. I could look at it for hours and hours. So that it's a great one. I mean, if you can find it and keep it as one of those special kind of books, I have this one, and then Lachlan likes a book called Hide and Snake by Keith Baker. Keith is from Bellingham, Washington, and there's a snake that hides in different things, and you have to know to look through it on all the pages. But Keith hides something in all of his books on all the pages, and it comes from having met him that I knew that. But Lachlan likes it because he's 3 and he can follow along, and he can start to pick out the words and know what's coming next. And these predictable kind of stories, especially with the kids that have something in them that they can, whizzabee whip, my only name is the Scrubius Pip. And they get to the point where they start to know what it's going to be. And there's those repetition type things that they really, really, really love. Yes. Yeah. She really did an amazing job to match his style. This is Angie said, it's amazing that there are two different illustrators, but they match so beautifully. I think that that's one of the things that is so amazing. First off, that this was written in the he died in 1888. So this was, I think, written in the 1860s, 1868. So that was when it was 1868 that he wrote this. And then it was never published. It was found in his papers, the poem with his little illustrations that went with it of the Scrubius Pip and all these little things. And then Ogden Nash completed it. The bits that he completed was asked to the Welkin bounce. See, that's he did there, and the bookworms. The tarpon attacked and the sailfish luffed, and they all gave a bubbly glubbly shout. Those that are in brackets are the lines that Ogden Nash, who, in his own right, oh my goodness, that's so. But there, you get to see another one. I love that owl. One of my favorites. Oh, was the boy and girl right in the at the end? Are they riding the giraffe? Boy and the girl. Oh, where's the boy and the girl and the giraffe? Are they riding the giraffe? Oh, they are. There they are. You're right. I didn't see them. They're riding a giraffe. How fun would that be? Yes. I mean, I remember, sitting on an elephant. My girls sitting on an elephant when they were little. But yes. Anyway. Oh, yes. If you have a good local bookstore, a good local used bookstore, or a local store that they can find you these things, that's amazing to support them. I am all for that. I have several of my things that I tend to go there and get from there. And then I take other things back because my shelves get too full. So, my friends, that was my night of the Scrubius Pip. And let's see. Oops, that's that. Wrong one. Here we go. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that one. It's a beautiful book. And I got treasures from Angie. I got to open for you, and you got to see her beautiful illustrations. If anybody else did anything from Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, from that thing, send me an email, imagesbygretchen@icloud.com, and send it a picture to me. I would love to show it. And then I'm going to figure out how to invite somebody in. Donna says it's easy, that you just invite them in, you put it in. I know it is. It's my mental part that's not so easy to get over doing it. But you guys make things safe. It's a safe zone to do this. So whimsical. Yay. So Gloria, I hope you've had a wonderful day. Angie, fingers crossed, we're all hoping for you, but everything's going to be fine. You and Mike are going to be just fine. You've done the smart thing with getting the vaccines and the boosters. You got yourself. This whole new variant is kind of throwing everybody for a loop. But we're fighting it and we're doing it. One of my daughter's very best friends is a research doctor and has been working on research teams, first at Johns Hopkins, and now she's out here at the UW Medicine. So there's things, they're working their tail off, and we're gonna get it. It's just, people are anxious to have things open, and it's just difficult. It's just going to be difficult, and we just have to be patient and be thankful that we have this kind of opportunity to connect in this kind of way instead, and to do these kind of things. Like I said the other night, we wouldn't be doing this, I'm sure, if it hadn't been for this crazy shutdown and pandemic. And yes, I know that's kind of reaching at straws for finding a silver lining, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to find a silver lining. I'm going to try to keep positive, and I'm going to, keep fighting for the good. And that, we look at this like books like the Scrubius Pip that show us that everybody has a little different viewpoint, but there's of what things are. But, everybody's different, but that's okay. Yay. Oh, good. Donna, I would love that. I would really love that, to see the video that your son sent you of how to do that, because I know it is simple, and I've watched several of the eCam trainers and with Streamer and some groups that I'm with. I'm that distractible girl. What is that song? Material Girl. Instead, I'm not the material girl, I'm the distractible girl. Yes, we need to make a Madonna song for those artists like this. Oh, I am a distractible girl. Whatever. That's me. I get waylaid, and then things like doing physical therapy, where I think I'm going to get up and do 2 hours of editing, and then I'm going to go to physical therapy, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to have this, get this done and that. And I don't, because I'm wiped. And I'm thinking, oh, but so, all right. Well, ladies, thank you so much for being here. And if you're seeing this afterwards, I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in comments, share this out with anybody who knows. There's a whole series of stories that I've done. So if you know somebody who's looking for someone to read a story to their kids to occupy them for some little bit of time, send them this video, because there's some stories that are a lot of fun that they might enjoy. And that's, I spent a lot of years reading stories to kids, and adults are just big kids. And this is a chance for us to really embrace that inner child and that wonder of the word. So, and of storytelling. So, all right, you guys, like I always let you know, go grab a mirror, look in it, and see the beauty that's hidden in plain sight. It's right there in front of you. And until the next time, take care, be safe, be happy, be well.